second wide, get into one. Oh! Holy cow. 2 rows of 4 wide exit in 4.
Hello, guys. How you guys doing?
Good.
Suarez here.
We're excited to have you back.
Thank you. Just filling in for my amigo, Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, except for instead of a guest, you're guest hosting.
Yeah,
Are you nervous? No.
I'm always nervous.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. Excited to be here.
Yeah. How come you didn't stay out west for any of the West Coast? NASCAR goes west.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning to stay. I did stay actually last year, but this year, I just had a lot going on here in Charlotte. A couple of meetings and stuff that I needed to catch up on, and I just decided to come back. And actually, I'm going earlier than normal. I was planning to go actually on Wednesday, so it wasn't very smart just to come for a couple of days. But they were gonna be 2 productive days. But now I'm coming back on Thursday morning, so not that bad.
So a little extra time at home.
3 days.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's always nice to sleep in your own bed.
Ryan's like an Aspen skiing, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really know what he's doing.
And he's going to the beach.
Yeah.
So he's doing the whole West Coast living thing.
Do you like it out west? Do you like going out there?
I love going out west. It's always a lot of fun for me. People is great, and weather is very good. I feel like you have both. You have the warm, nice weather, and you can go find snow if you want. Just like I guess Ryan is doing right now. So you can get all.
You like the snow?
I like the snow, but I will tell you that the first time I got my experience with the snow, with bigger snow, it wasn't as fun because I was living there.
Oh.
So that was a struggle.
Yeah.
I struggled
Snow's
quite
not
a bit.
fun.
It was in Buffalo, New York.
Oh.
Can you imagine a kid from Mexico going to Buffalo to live? That wasn't smart. Well, I didn't know that.
What were you doing up there?
Actually, the very first time I moved to the U.S. before Charlotte, I moved up there with a guy that was a team owner from a very, very small team in Cayenne. And he knew that I didn't speak English. So he told me, hey, come over to live in my house so you can start practicing the English. I never thought about where. He told me, yeah, obviously I live here in the U.S., but he never said where.
Oh, no.
So here I go.
So you signed up before you knew where it was?
And you know what month it was?
Like January or February?
January.
Oh, no.
So I was in the beautiful weather in Mexico, having a lot of fun with friends and family, and then I go to Buffalo, New York. To be moving snow every night.
Did he make you shovel the snow?
Oh, everyone did. Everyone did.
You're not going anywhere if you don't shovel the snow. Yeah.
I grew up in Florida, so I don't like this.
That's Mexico too. Yeah, that's the weather in Mexico. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I grew up here in North Carolina, and we rarely get snow. And even when you get snow, you really don't have to shovel it. You just kind of got to.
It's cold here, though. It's been unseasonably cold for a longer length of time.
But we haven't had any snow.
We haven't, except for that one snow in December.
Yeah, but that wasn't really
anyway
a good one. And then now not typically, but historically, we have gotten our worst snowstorms
in February
and March.
Yeah.
Late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Late.
So, although I think we're now getting probably too late. It's March 12th. So if we get one now, that'd be a weird snowstorm.
Yeah.
So we got 3 tracks that we've done the West Coast Swing. Of those 3 tracks, which would you say is your favorite? So
we did Vegas, then we went to Phoenix,
and then we got
Auto
Club.
We're going to Auto Club.
I would say it would be between Phoenix and California and from Auto Club. Phoenix has been just a very good place to me since I was racing Cayenne. And Fontana, California is just a racetrack that is so different to everything else. I mean, you get into a corner and you can see that super wide racetrack that, most of the time we don't see that. I mean, if we go to Kansas, is the opposite. I mean, I bet it's like half the size in the corner, the wide of the corner. So I like that a lot. I mean, I really like when I go back and I go to watch the races. Mm-hmm. And then we get into the corner 1 after a restart. 4, 5, 6 wide.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
One of my favorite places to watch the race or work the race is in the entrance of turn 3. So if you're out there shooting with a camera, you see on a restart, everybody come off a 2 and they fan out and it's quiet down in 3. So you don't hear anything. Then it gets louder and louder. And then they just hit full force and the wind will blow you back. That was probably one of the times I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's just watching it from the outside.
Yeah.
Can imagine being 6 wide.
In the car.
Yeah.
And the other reason actually why I really love Auto Club Speedway is because, there is, for me, there are a lot of great fans there. As you guys know, we don't get to race in Mexico, so
No.
I feel like that's the closest I get. Already my family, I don't think they ever come in to the Auto Club race, but there is always a lot of Hispanic and a lot of Mexican people there, so it feels very good to get a lot of support from all these fans, and for me, obviously, it's fun. I wish we were coming to the West Coast more often.
Which market has better authentic Mexican, Phoenix or like where we are, like down in Fontana? If you're looking for authentic Mexican food, is it easier to find it in like the Phoenix area or where we go in California?
Probably in California.
Okay.
Probably in California.
Or you could just bring your mom along. I heard she's a very, very, very good cook. I've yet to try anything she's made. I need to get her
tamales.
schedule when she comes to the track,
Yeah.
so I can try her tamales. She makes tamales, right?
Yeah, she's very good doing that. I don't know how. She's extremely good, and
That's all anybody that's on your cruise talks about. is
yeah,
how
yeah,
good
they
your mom's
love
food
it.
is.
And you know what is the problem? Is that they think, some of them, they never had tamales before, so they think that that's how tamales are, right? So I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. One of my pit crew guys, he texted me. He said, "Hey, I'm here in the Mexican place," and he sent me a picture of the menu. Tamales. I'm gonna order some tamales. I said, okay. He said, "Man, these tamales were not the same like your mom." Say, "Oh, I knew that, but I'm glad you find that out now." So that's the problem when they never tried it before, and then
Yeah.
you give them the best.
They're not gonna be able to find it anywhere
that
else.
is spoiled. That is
Nothing
spoiled.
else compares once you go top notch.
Can't go back, but yeah. I need to know next time your mom's at track. I'm gonna sneak
Yeah,
in and
There's-
get some of her food.
There's a good spot it's outside of Rancho Cucamonga. I'm trying to I can't remember the name of it, but I just remember they had this giant meat cauldron with like cactus in it and all like,
I like it.
chicken,
Cactus is
steak,
good.
like all of this stuff, and it cooks in the bowl, and it was spicy. And we had a camera guy one time who took the pepper that was in
Oh,
there
yeah. I've
and
done
took
that.
out the seeds and set them over to the side of the plate. And he just was putting stuff on his plate, and he's eating. And the next thing you know, he wipes the steak in the pepper, in the seeds, and ate all the seeds.
This is spicy.
And had this look on his face of sheer pain for the next day.
Well,
Well,
I ate
maybe
some
they-
sort of cactus when I was in Tulum a couple of years ago. That was super spicy. It was in like a stew like that. And I just was trying to drink all the milk.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about that.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah.
just drank beer.
Beer.
Tried to kill it with beer.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy what people eat some in some places. That's something that really amazed me a lot. How the culture here in the U.S. We are used to eat certain kind of stuff. And then you go to Mexico and we are used to eat certain kind of stuff. And then you go to Brazil, they eat totally different kind of stuff. And then I never been in Asia, but I hear all the stuff that they eat. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's stuff that we'll never eat in the U.S. So it's kind of crazy how cultures are so different all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. I would not want to eat half the stuff in an Asian market.
Oh,
Ugh. Ugh.
See, I feel like if it was prepared and like I didn't know
What
what
it
was in
was?
it, like if you walk through and you
didn't
see
know
like
that it
the
was
raw
dog
ingredients
or
just kind of
cat?
hanging there, it's like, maybe I might not have that.
Meow.
But if it's prepared in a meal and say, here, try this, probably be a little bit more willing to sample some of the local cuisine.
Maybe.
But if you've got like a giant beetle sitting on a stick and you're like, here, eat this. It's like,
That's good protein.
I know, but I'm not
Bugs.
gonna.
Do they eat any sort of bugs in Mexico?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. I can't really talk about everyone, but I don't.
Crickets.
Crickets.
Do they do crickets?
Crickets, I hear about. I never tried them.
I heard they're like pretty good. They're crunchy. I've had cricket powder, like a protein bar with cricket powder.
Oh, really?
Which is like ground up like
Yeah.
crickets. You can't really taste.
I never had crickets before. I never had any of stuff like that. But
It's supposed to be the protein of the future.
Cricket?
Cricket.
poor
Oh,
crickets.
bugs. Well, just bugs, like bug protein.
I find that very hard to like.
It's more sustainable.
You just create a ant farm and here's your lunch. It's
Maybe.
a whole bunch of ants. That's just
Yeah.
Protein of the future is insects. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool, Kim. Good story.
Sorry.
Good luck on that, right?
Right? I'm just saying.
I'm going to try to transition real quick. Speaking of the future, and the future is now, the future and the past, Kyle Busch. 200 wins. I was trying to figure out something with the
That was a
transition.
bad
It was
transition.
it was terrible.
So he's at 199.
Yeah.
199 right now?
Right
Yeah.
now, that with the win.
And he's racing
Sunday.
Saturday at Auto Club in the Xfinity Series race. So, I mean, that might be his shot at his first shot. I mean, that is his first shot at 200, but I think he might clinch it then.
Do you think, though, it puts him in the same category as Richard Petty? Richard Petty has 200, but Richard Petty got all 200 in the Cup Series.
Yeah, it's a different era, though.
Yeah.
It's a different era. I think it's very hard to compare because already Richard Petty, he won a lot of races and a lot of championships. You know, it's just very hard to compare two different eras. I feel like Kyle Busch, what he has done in the last 15 years is extremely impressive in all, you know, 3 series. It's hard to compare. I feel like it's hard to compare. Probably, you know, 200 Cup Series wins. Probably that's I will say maybe even more difficult to do, I would guess, because I don't know. I mean, the way that I see Kyle racing trucks and Xfinity, he made that stuff look easy. I mean, I race in trucks and I race in Xfinity before, and I really, you know, it's not as easy to win, but he has so much experience and he knows the car so well, and already he's with the best equipment, either in the truck or in the Xfinity, that sometimes it even gets boring, right?
Well,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what folks said about Richard Petty back in the day. Like, he's racing on random nights, not necessarily against the toughest competition every time. You got to
Whatever.
figure, like, what Kyle Busch is going up against now. The competition is probably a lot tougher.
Yeah, but he
Now-
still doesn't win every race.
Not every race.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Like you said, it's tough to compare eras, and I feel like we always want to go back and say, oh, well, you know, like, is LeBron like Michael Jordan? Like, we want to
not the
compare
same.
something to the past, but the way the sport is now, you can't compare it to the past because there's so many talented drivers now. There's so many good cars week in and week out, whereas before it was a little bit less than that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that maybe back in the day, like you said, the competition wasn't as tough, and maybe NASCAR wasn't as difficult either when it comes to, you know, inspections.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I bet they didn't have those
The
lasers,
lasers.
and stuff like that back in the day. So it's different. So that's, you know, maybe a little advantage to the King, but we're talking about 200 wins in Cup, and we're talking here about
Combined.
200 wins combined, which is very different. Most likely, I don't know what is the percentage, but if Kyle is racing a truck race, you know, most likely
percent he's
if
gonna
nothing
win.
crazy happens, most likely he's gonna win.
Yeah.
In Xfinity, maybe the percentage is not as high, but it's still pretty high. In the Cup Series, is still difficult. I mean, he's been very successful, but there is 10 cars that easy can win the race every week.
Kyle used to joke when you were over at JGR that you asked him too many questions, that you just would ask him all sorts of questions. Now that you've switched over to Stewart-Haas Racing, who's your guy over there that you bug with questions?
Yeah, he's never there for free, so you can ask as many questions as you want. With Kyle, I used to ask a lot of questions. Now, here, honestly, all of them. Already Kevin, he is the most, because I feel like he's the one that knows the organization the best. And he can always bring something interesting. But I would say Kevin or even Tony.
Really?
Tony Stewart, he's extremely involved, and he has always a good approach, how to get things done, or a good advice. So I would say all 3 of them are very good, and we have a good relationship, and we track each other very good. But I would say with experience that Kevin has, and he's been the the longest in the Stewart-Haas Racing organization, I will say that maybe he's the guy to go.
Now, I know you've only been there a short amount of time, but one of the things that I've always heard folks say about Stewart-Haas is that it's just a bunch of racers. It's guys that love the sport, love working, and it's a team mentality. What has been your experience in just your short time there so far? Like, what have you kind of learned about it?
Actually, you are exactly right. It just feels more laid back and more, everything is about the trophies and the wins and it really makes a difference when the owner, we're not saying that he used to be a race car driver. He still is a race car driver. He's racing 89 races this year. And I told him the other day, I thought you were retired. He said, no, man, I just retired from Cup. so he still has it, and he's extremely involved with everything. And everything is about being successful and winning races. And I really feel like, so far the chemistry and the communication is very good. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. To meet up with these guys, and I'm the same way. I mean, I didn't grow up in racing, but I grew up fixing cars, and once I got into racing, my dad was my mechanic. I was working with him, and I've been always very, very involved in all the car stuff. And now with this group, I feel like I'm not the only one. I feel like there is a bunch of them that they have had not the same, but
they grew up in a garage.
Yeah, similar background to the one that I have.
Well, and that sound that we played off the top, I think, kind of spoke to that. That was Clint Boyer's crew. I think it was his spotter, Brett. And Bugga.
Bugga, yeah.
They were talking about the start of the third stage and how everything fanned out at Phoenix to 4 wide. And just the way they said it, it's like they're fans watching the race. But they're also calling a race, too, at the same time.
Yeah. And you're gonna hear way more of that in Auto Club this coming weekend.
Oh yeah,
and not just 4, believe me.
Well, yeah.
I will give you 5 at least.
5 and 6.
What were those restarts like at Phoenix?
Man, unfortunately, I couldn't be part of the party for too long. I had an electrical issue there with the battery, and an issue with the battery, and I had to go to a back. Actually, I didn't have any restarts up front, just one, I think, and I was around 16 or 15. But other than that, I went a couple laps down, and I just couldn't recover after being 2 laps down after that issue. But restarts are, I feel like the craziest part to be in a restart is around 10.
Yeah.
That point in that area, because you're in traffic, you're not too far back, you can see the front, and everyone wants to be crazy to go to the front, but you don't want to go too far back. So I feel like between 10, 8, 12, that's the craziest.
Do you like that? Or you're like,
that.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
do?
love that because you never know. I mean, something is extremely important, and I always ask my spotter to remind me this. Hey, I know who is in front. I know who is behind. Tell me who is behind him and tell me who is in front. Because I need to know I know drivers very well. So I know which driver is going to do something dumb and which driver is going to be very smart and relaxed. So I need to know that kind of stuff. Who is around me to be prepared, and act the way that I should.
Who's your spotter right now?
My spotter right now is Tony. He's new with me.
Oh, okay.
He's new with me. Tony Raines. We just started working this year, and it's been fun.
It's been good.
I think he can understand my English by now. So.
Have you taught him any Spanish?
Yeah, well, he doesn't get anything. So I think we are sticking with the English. Yeah, he's not very good in Spanish.
Well, there seems to have been a lot of emphasis on restarts so far this year. So it just sounds like with the new package, I think everybody's kind of looking forward to Auto Club too. Just what is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should get interesting.
Should be fun.
We would be remiss if we didn't bring up qualifying, though, at Phoenix. We have to.
Hey, I would say something.
What was it? In Spanish, La Lucha?
Lucha,
Did I get it right?
Pelea. Fight. Yeah.
I thought it was Lucha.
Lucha is it's similar. It's similar. Yeah, it works too.
Okay.
A lot of people were saying a couple of weeks ago that Fridays were kind of boring, that the new qualifying format is boring.
I don't think so.
I really love it now.
Well, because they lowered for the first round, you only have 10 minutes now. It used to be, remember, 2 years ago, it was 20 and then 15. Now this year it's 10, which I think makes it more pressure.
Oh,
clearly.
Yeah.
Were you expecting any of that to happen?
This is the way that we head into qualifying. This is our mentality. I mean, we went actually since today, Tuesday, we have our competition meeting. We talk about the previous race and we talk about the race that we're going. And we knew how important was going to be qualifying in Phoenix because normally track position there is big. But now with the new aero package, the car, if you are in clean air, it just drives so much better. I felt like my car was maybe a good 10 to 8 place car during the race. Obviously, being two laps down is very hard to show that. But I felt like if we were grabbing my car and putting in the top 5, I think we're going to stay there.
Okay.
So that's how important was track position. That's why some people actually they didn't take tires or they took 2 tires and they were able to stay up front. So, Friday was extremely important for us for that reason. So we were tracking for days, our approach for Friday. So this is our plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And we're going to wait until 3-4 minutes, blah, 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 2 laps, blah, blah, blah. Then we go. The first lap is nothing because you have cold tires, shining stickers, blah, blah, blah. And then the second lap that is supposed to be the good one, he just jumped into the track. And, the way that this works, you go to the racetrack, you do nothing, 1 corner, 1 and 2, nothing, corner 3 and 4, nothing, and then you open your first lap. Your first lap is pretty bad. And then you open the second lap, and that's a good one, right? So I was in my corner 1 and 2 from my second lap. And he was in the corner 1 and 2 from his nothing lap.
Oh.
And then, obviously, he was way slower than me. Just because of the temperature on the tires. And then I was already almost on his bumper and getting to the corner 3 and 4. He was still on his nothing lap, and he stayed there. He just...
What did your spotter say when it was happening?
Wreck him.
I love that.
Wreck him, yeah. And I was talking with him after everything, and I say, hey, your job is to tell me when, I have other cars around.
Yeah.
And to calm me down.
To calm me down.
And you were not doing that.
So we should blame your spotter for what happened.
The thing is that he's a driver too. So he was excited. He said, man, wreck that,
Yeah.
and then or block him or do anything. And I'm the kind of guy that I know how much work it takes to build these race cars. And I didn't build it myself. So, and I won't fix it myself either.
Yeah.
So for me, I will never, ever
wreck a race car.
Wreck a race car on purpose. No. I mean, if it happens to be that way, being aggressive on during the race, that's fine. That's racing, right? But to use my car to show displeasure, that will never happen to me. I prefer to jump out of the car, be quiet, and then go there and find the person.
What were you thinking when you walked over there?
Well, when I jump out of the car, obviously, I knew I was a screw. The problem, this is what happened, that we had our plan. We say, okay, the second lap is going to be the good one. But if for whatever reason we don't get a good lap, the second lap, whatever happens, you do a third lap.
Yeah.
And we're going to be fine. I mean, it's the first round, top 24, should be easy. Nothing big. So we don't really have to push it to be 24. So that's exactly what we did. But the problem was that he was on my way in corner 1 and 2, not too big, but he was on my way to close my lap in 3 and 4, and for the same reason, he was on my way to open my lap in the third lap. So I couldn't close my second, and I couldn't open my third. That's why I was very mad.
So it was like strike 3.
Yeah, so I just flipped. I was very mad. I didn't flip out. I was very mad. I got into my car. I stopped the car. I didn't say anything. I just get out of the car, take my stuff out. I didn't talk to anyone. I started walking over there. And then the whole dancing started.
The dancing.
The dance of the pit road dance,
Yeah.
if you will.
He grabbed your foot.
He did.
When I was like, what is he doing?
I don't know.
That's an age-old racing move.
To grab
if you go
somebody's
back to the
foot?
1979 Daytona 500, there was a foot grab there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean that's just
I
paying
thought
homage.
the foot grab was funny.
Yeah. Well, you
kept your balance.
As
so.
soon as I saw that, I had that shot in my head of the 79 Daytona and, Kale and the Allisons just going at it in the infield. So, iconic moment in NASCAR history.
Yeah, but he was grabbing my foot when I was trying to deal with someone else. I mean, it wasn't like I was just hanging there.
Right.
You were at a disadvantage because you were near his car. So he had more kind of crew guys to work with. And then Drew came after you, Blickensdorfer. What did Drew say to you? I feel like he almost like grabbed your neck. I was like,
He-
what is going on?
So this is what happened. I went there. I was very mad, but I went there not with the mentality of fighting right away. I went there with the mentality of have a strong conversation with him.
Yeah, to talk.
And maybe just to give him
to
next
give him
time.
a
Next time
shoulder
you do
grab,
that.
maybe.
Next time you do that, we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
But even before when I start tracking that, I can't remember what I was saying. He just tried to grab my neck, and after that, I wasn't limited. I was After that was game on, and then when all that happened, like I said, I went by myself. I mean, I don't have a
Yeah, you
problem
didn't
with
have
that.
any of your crew,
nobody
though,
knew.
over there.
I mean, Lauren was there, my PR girl.
Lauren,
but
you didn't want to get in the
but
middle
no,
of it?
she was just watching, filming from the other side of the wall.
Got to get that
Good
content.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's
got to get the
great.
content.
That's a good PR person right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Good content.
But as soon as he was on the ground, his cruise ship jumped in there, and then he grabbed me. He was kind of like running after me, and then he with all that speed, he grabbed me from the side. So I was gonna go grab him again once he was in the ground. I was gonna go after him, and then the other guy got me from the side or from behind, and then I just landed in the hood. And then once I lost my feet, it was game over for me because I didn't have, I was not
unfair.
planted.
It
You
was an
sweep the
unfair.
legs. Like once you're off your feet, I mean, that's
Yeah,
it.
because
McDowell
I
had an
couldn't do
unfair
anything.
advantage.
Yeah, and
because
then
his crew.
somebody started pulling my leg. I didn't know
foot.
who it was.
I thought he was going to pull your shoe off.
Yeah, I had nice shoes.
Put your shoe up, like tickle your feet and like this. See what you did, see what happens.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I did notice though you had good control. Like
Yeah.
you got him by the Hans.
The Hans.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it
that's-
was
just
it
in the
was
moment,
it was
right?
something
It was
natural.
quick.
Yeah, it was something natural that it just, it just happened. I don't know. I mean, it was just one of those things that you just do it natural, and then
Yeah.
it just happened. I mean,
Did you go back and watch the video?
how many times? And
It's like
My
breaking
dad-
that
That's
down
a
more than
great
the lap.
answer.
It's like
my dad, so this is very fun, and already now it's just everything is about fun. But my dad, just so you know how my dad thinks,
Okay.
he told me, he said on Friday, man, that was very good. He said the first time that he called me, he said, man, do you think you know how to do that again, or you just, it was like a lucky shot? And I said, no, I don't know how to do that. I'll be fine. He said, okay. And why you didn't kick the second guy out too? I mean, why you didn't put the second guy in the ground as well? I said, well, he got me from the back and he was running. What you were expecting? He said, man, you should be able to put him in the ground too. I said, come on. So he was even pushing me more.
Yeah. He's probably
But,
cheering
yeah.
you
he's
on.
breaking down the film. You know,
Yeah.
making sure. All right, so if you get caught in this situation again, you want to do this and this. That. Like that's what a good dad will do. They'll help you figure out how to
Yeah.
improve the next time.
Did Tony Stewart say anything after?
We had a lot of
Because
conversation.
Tony's gotten into some of his
Yeah.
own fights.
I mean, we're going to Auto Club.
Well,
and
the
I
helmet
could-
throw too. Remember what was that?
Bristol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony's gotten to his own
I think
fisticuffs.
I think it's fun. Honestly, it's fun. I remember when I was younger in middle school. I was maybe like 13, and then I started getting some classes of fighting and stuff like that. And
Like martial arts.
Yeah, and I was in those classes for a while, and the reason why I was in those classes was because my dad wanted to make sure I knew how to defend myself.
Yeah.
Just in case. He told me, hey, you're gonna know this, but just in case. I was a kid, so I was going to school just waiting who was looking at me to try to fight.
Fight him?
I was ready to go, and then I started getting in trouble.
Did he pull you out of the classes when you started fighting at school, or no? He just
My
let you-
dad?
Yeah.
No, my
No.
dad. The problem is that my dad. There is a reason why he's my dad, right?
Yeah.
We're very similar. So
Yeah.
he had the same problem when he was younger, and like I said, I think I said this in an interview. He told me after all this stuff happened, he said, hey, I think that's fine. I mean, if you're gonna do it, make sure you do it right. Just make sure you don't do it too often, but have fun with it. But I just felt like it was. It was one of those things that obviously you don't want that to happen, but if it happens, you have to be ready for it. I
You
guess.
do. Well, you've earned yourself a spot in all of like the. I'm sure they're going to use that in all of like the season wrap up videos that they use at like the banquet and stuff, where it's like the best moments of the year. The fights always make it.
Joe Logano thanked me. He said, "Man, thank you very much." And I say, "Why?" He said, "Man, the video of my fight with Kyle Busch has been going on for 2 years. I'm glad
Yeah.
somebody else someone else finally step in.
He's got a couple though. Like he's
Joey's
got that
been
one.
in a couple
the one
fights.
with Tony at Auto Club.
The one
that
with
was
Tony.
when Denny wrecked, and like that was a good. Now, my
There's been
favorite part
actually
about
a good handful the last like 5 years. The one with Brad and Jeff was Jeff
Yeah.
in that one,
yeah,
and then
there was some good line.
Also Brad and Matt Kenseth, was that Brad and Matt
Yeah,
Kenseth in between
Charlotte.
the haulers? Yeah, in Charlotte.
I think my favorite part about the Logano Stewart one was when Stewart's walking away. I think it was Steve Burns that was interviewing him as they're walking away. He says, "Thank you, Tony," and Tony, "No, thank you." It's like
What?
he's polite. I like that. You know, like you do a good interview. Thank you. That was good.
Yours was fun to watch. It was good. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when Harvick like tried to fight Jimmy in the owner driver lot?
I remember
Yeah.
that.
And he
Oh,
just
watching
gave
on
him.
TV.
He like
What,
didn't.
Chicago
he, like,
or something like that. Like
yeah.
it was like he was trying to like.
He didn't take
like
the
one of
classes that
these,
you
yeah.
took.
So yeah, that's it's very fun to be
Yeah.
in 3-4 days after
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
go
nobody got
watch it.
hurt, so it's
Nobody
fun.
got
Yeah,
hurt.
nobody got hurt. That's why it's fun. Like
Yeah,
funny to
but,
look back. Yeah.
You know, it's funny how my mom called me. She was pissed.
That's gotta be the worst though.
I'm her baby.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah.
You know, she was mad. She say, "Are you okay? I'm glad I'm not there." You know, she was very mad. And my dad, he called me all excited. "Man, that was good. How was it?" And I saw the videos. And what could you have done better?
Total opposite.
Totally opposite. So definitely, I had more fun with the talk with my dad.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks ago, you had a chance to meet Rey Mysterio Jr. At was it SmackDown in Charlotte?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it was just like good timing on that. I mean, like,
I think he should be proud, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, it was just a good timing, I guess. I don't know. Rey Mysterio, obviously he's huge in Mexico and here in the U.S. So he's been around for a while, and talking with him actually. Back when I was like 10, 12 years old, I went to a few wrestling matches, and talking with him, he told me that he may be in those matches when I was 10 to 12 years old, because he used to go a lot to my hometown. So we're just talking and having a good time, and let me tell you, I have a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, that's a show, but the stuff that those guys do is
They're
impressive.
athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, they jump high, they get hard impacts. I mean, it's crazy, and I bet we're gonna have a good fun conversation now that
Yeah,
we
next
meet
time you
again.
see him.
Well,
in Auto Club.
yeah, he's going to be out at Auto
Oh,
Club.
yeah, I forgot about that.
You guys doing anything together out there?
Yeah, so he's gonna be the special guest for us, and he's gonna be driving the pace car as well. So we're gonna be hanging out a little bit, and a few of my team guys are big fans of Rey Mysterio. So we are gonna bring him to the horror, give him a little tour, and
Maybe he'll show you some moves.
yeah.
I was going to say you could swap tips. Like you could give him tips on how to drive the pace car, and he could give you tips
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
takedowns.
I wanna show him the video, and then I'm gonna tell him, okay, tell me why could I have done
Break
better?
it down. Yeah.
Have you ever gone to any of the? You ever
I
done
thought
any
you were
wrestling
about to
stuff?
ask if
No.
I'd ever been in a fight. And I was
No.
going to be
Well,
like, no.
Have
Not
you?
that I can think of. I mean, when you're little and you like wrestle,
Yeah.
but not. I haven't been in like an adult fight.
No, I don't think that's normal for girls.
No.
No. I mean, there's some girls I've
Some
seen.
girls.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah, but the crazy ones.
Yeah,
there's some videos
Yeah,
that
I don't-
float around on the internet.
I don't run in
Yeah.
that crowd.
Yeah. No, that's.
No, you don't run in that car.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you'd been to any like WWE stuff or anything.
I haven't. I've heard they're really fun. They always look fun. And there's a bunch of NASCAR people. I always, whenever whatever it is in town,
Yeah.
WrestleMania or WWE
SmackDown,
or
Raw,
yeah,
all
all
that,
of those. It feels like everybody in NASCAR is at those matches.
It's fun. I would say it's fun, and the way that they make it work, it's a good time, and the way that they do things,
And it's always people I don't expect to be there that like love it.
I have it. I went to one in high school. I was maybe 16, I think, at the time, or 15 or 16, and we drove out there, and that was, and I think the statute of limitations has passed on this. I had my like first underage beer in public. Some guy,
Did you use a fake ID?
No, some random guy behind us was like, "Hey, y'all want some beer?" So we took beer from strangers. Probably not a good idea to do, but it was still like this cool atmosphere for a high schooler to just watch. You know, it was back when The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, that was like the heyday.
The heyday, those guys. So that was my experience with it. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of
drinking underage.
Well,
watching.
that, but it was a fun time. Like they taped the Spanish version before, like we went to Monday Night Raw, and they taped the version that aired in Mexico before that. So we got to basically see two different shows, and it's fun. Like it was awesome.
I'll have to go.
Yeah. And the luchadors, like I've heard several people say that they are bringing masks this weekend because Rey Mysterio is going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Does Rey wear a luchador mask?
Yeah,
he
he
does.
Yeah,
what does his
he
look
does.
like?
Well, he
Because
has
don't they have like specific ones for each person? Like they're
he has
specific designs?
He has several.
Okay.
He has different designs. And actually, we're gonna do a trade. So he's gonna give me a mask.
And you're gonna get a helmet, or he's gonna get a helmet, or a glove, or something. You should have made your helmet painted like a luchador mask, like on the back or something. That would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, there's several right there that you can.
Yeah, but I thought
like
each wrestler or fighter has their specific mask, right?
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. But they do have different design. But I guess.
Or colors, specific colors
he
for
has
certain
one
people.
that is kind of like the main one. You know, that he's famous on that one, and then he just changed.
kind of like a paint scheme.
Correct.
Like you've got your one that
The
you're
primary,
known for,
yeah,
and then
the primary.
yeah.
And
then you got here's the special paint scheme. Here's the special mask.
Oh, that's cool. Where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. I'm gonna wear it maybe for that interest.
You should. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun, eh? Yeah, I think that'd be fun, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people. It's very fun to see social media after all this happened, and then we made an announcement that we were gonna be together in Auto Club, and people saying, "Oh, everything makes sense now."
Everything makes sense.
So
You can wear your mask next time you get into a fight. Were you surprised that Michael didn't take his helmet off? Were you upset? Did you want him to take his helmet off?
I was not upset. I honestly wasn't thinking about it,
Yeah.
but I would say that if I was on his position and somebody comes to me, not to hit me, but to talk to me aggressive, and I have the helmet, I will tell him, "Hey, give me 2 seconds. Let me take this thing off."
You would have taken it off.
But I think that
It just
to
happened
have
too
his
fast.
helmet on and then to start the fight that way, I don't feel like that's right. I mean, that's just the way I think. But he had his helmet on, and maybe that's what he normally do. Maybe he just jump in the car and out the car with his helmet, which is fine. But if you're gonna start a fight, make sure that it's without it. Yeah,
I agree.
But safety first.
Safety first.
Safety first. You didn't bring us any Mexican candy. Remember last time you were on, you said you were going to bring us Mexican candy.
Yeah.
So you've just
Or maybe we just
got
talked
your
about
candy
Mexican. I
wrapper
just looked at
still
my
on,
Camry wrap.
yeah.
Oh, well, I only ate half of it. I didn't eat lunch. I don't usually.
That's
I don't
Kim's
usually
lunch
eat
right there.
candy.
That's her
That's lunch?
I forgot my lunch on the way here. It's fine.
If I forgot my lunch, I would be hungry.
Well, you might hear my stomach growling a little bit.
Yeah, the mic will pick it
Oh,
up.
that was your stomach?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll have a big dinner.
No, you were saying I interrupted you with your
Oh.
you were asking him about the candy.
The candy.
that-
Next time. You'll have to bring it
My
next time.
sisters went to Las Vegas
Oh, they did? Like to the race?
to a race.
How many? You have two?
I have two.
Older, younger?
Younger.
Okay.
Both of them. And actually, one of my older sister, she's 25. She said, "Hey, can I have a couple of friends going with me? They would like to go over there to see your race." I said, "Okay. Can you get the passes?" I said, "We'll get the passes, but their code will be to bring some spicy candy." And they did.
Oh, they did? They brought
a
you
good job,
some?
Yeah.
Do they still live in Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone.
Do you get recognized when you go home at all? Like, do people recognize you when you're back home in Mexico?
Sometimes I do. Depends where you are. Like if I go to, like a shopping store, a regular like Walmart or something like that, it's gonna be, probably not. But if I go something, whatever it is related with cars, either a dealership or
really?
something like that, I have been in that situation a few times. All depends where you are.
Yeah.
I've been in a car shows a couple of times as well in December. There is a big car show that I go in December in my hometown. That there is a lot of car people. So,
So they know.
if the place I'm going is car related,
They usually recognize you. That makes sense.
You doing anything fun when you head out to California?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna go to the Haas factory on Thursday, so I'm very excited about that. As you guys know, I grew up working in the shop with my dad and fixing motors and cars and stuff like that. So I'm actually very, very interesting. I've been always very interesting about parts and billet stuff and aluminum and all that kind of stuff. Fabrication. I love fabrication. Actually, I know how to weld, and since I was little, my dad taught me how to weld and how to fabricate a couple things.
How good of a bead do you have on your weld? Like, guys, I know that's like one of the...
It works. It works. It's not the nicest one,
okay.
but it works. I know how to do a little round, so I'm not horrible. I don't do...
Gets the job done.
I don't do popcorns.
Okay.
I would say that.
Okay.
So when it comes to Haas CNC machines, I really like that, to watch them, how they move things, and to see how they make things. Those things are beautiful. The little pieces that they make.
They shape. What's the machine? It's not even a machine because it's not electric. It's like English wheel or something that shapes. What's that called? And it's like yes, you go back and forth, and it like slowly. What?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was called an English wheel. I just remember taking a shop tour. It may have been a SHR a few years ago. I think.
Round, right?
Yeah, it's round, and it like slowly shapes. That was so neat to me because there was nothing like electrical about it. It was just like pressure and
you can adjust the pressure on the size.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some of those in the shop as well because sometimes. We have a lot of cars that are very rounded. So sometimes if you have to change a quarter panel or something, you can make the piece with that little machine. And that little machine, like you mentioned, is not electrical. It's not really a technology on it. It's like 2 rounds with different sizes.
I guess you would say manual.
It's kind of like old school, but still.
When you put together cars or redo cars, do you do all the work yourself?
No, I mean I do it with my dad at the shop. Actually, right now we're doing one. We're doing a convertible. A convertible VW. The thing is that I don't have the time anymore. Like back when I was racing in Mexico, I had a lot of time. So I used to go to a shop. I used to do some metal work, and I used to help the guys doing the car.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have the time anymore, but I'm still very involved when it comes to...
You design it and
build the
engine.
I choose the wheels. I fabricate the wheels. If we need something custom and I have some free time, I make it in the shop or stuff like that. So I don't build it myself with my hands, but I'm extremely involved when it comes to everything.
Okay. I always wondered. Yeah. I was like picturing you in the shop with like a welder's mask.
I do that actually.
You do?
In December.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that. I weld, whatever stuff. I try to, this is the truth, when it comes to do all the fabrication in the car that I'm building, all that has to be very nice. So if it's something that I know that is easy and nobody's going to be able to see it or something that is not very special, I do it myself. If it's something that, people is going to see it and you have to make it nice, I said to my guys, okay, I don't want to mess it up, so you do it.
What color is the Corvette you're working on? Or not Corvette, convertible,
the convertible. It's metallic blue.
Metallic blue.
It's a 1958.
Ooh.
Yeah, should be fun.
Nice. That's pretty spiffy.
Spiffy indeed. Spiffy indeed. Well, is it getting to be, it's getting to be about that time. It's been a good conversation.
It has.
Yeah.
You can come back anytime you want.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anything else we want to talk about before we hit the music and head on out? Oh, I do want to say thank you to all the glass holes that are on the new Facebook group. We can see what you say. So where's the camera?
Nice.
There's my camera. Yeah, be nice. Be nice.
You brought an entourage with you. Who are they and what are they doing here? And it looks like they're taking photos. Where can we see those photos?
Yeah, actually, I just partnered with a marketing company that we're gonna start doing a lot of stuff in and out the racetrack, and it's a pretty cool story about one of the owners from this company because he's from Mexico too, and we've been friends for a long time. And we decided to this year start working together in a couple of different areas, and they came today just to film a little bit of what we're doing here and to learn a little bit about what we do, how we have fun, and they've been getting to know a lot about the sport as well because they're gonna be going to some races and just to have a little fun with all the social media and marketing from myself.
You do a show, don't you have a show now on like social media that you sometimes?
Yeah, Daniel Amigos. We're planning to come back with that.
Okay.
So
you haven't done any this year?
No, this year no, I haven't done anything this year. Last year we did a lot, and we're planning to do some stuff again this year.
Okay. Cool.
I do want to say a shout out to Brandy Smith because she, in that Facebook group, said, "Oh my goodness, fingers crossed Blaney can get Suarez on GCOE next week."
So they wanted you on the show.
So they wanted you on the show. The fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
they
you.
spoke and boom.
Well, you were
Daniel's
a
here.
really popular guest when we had you on last year.
Yeah.
Everybody
It was
really
around
liked
Halloween. It was the Halloween
Yeah.
episode.
It was the Halloween.
Yeah,
I
because we
remember
talked about
that.
that's why we
Yeah.
talked about the spicy candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody had very nice things to say, so you'll have to
Yeah,
come
that
back
was-
again. Yeah.
Let me just make sure that I've got all of my stuff queued up. I'm trying to produce and look at stuff, and then so I can hit this to say,
there you go.
oh, the music's playing, which means
You can still talk a little
you can
bit.
still talk. We've got like a minute and some odd change left to talk about stuff. Mainly the fact that folks need to go into iTunes and rate and review.
Mm-hmm.
Folks have tweeted out that things have been funky with some of the feeds. We are working on it. It'll be in all of your favorite places where you can find podcasts.
Eventually.
Yeah.
If it's not, hopefully it is. I also got somebody.
We moved some things around.
I did an AMA on Reddit that said,
Yeah.
"Tell Chuck to fix the audio." I guess the audio levels are really low. He was trying to mow his lawn and listen at the same time. Though.
Well, get better headphones. That's you're running a lawnmower. Get some in-ears that block. Get some noise canceling headphones. If you have a lawnmower going, you're not going to hear people talking.
They're loud.
Yeah.
Do you mow your own lawn?
My what?
Do you mow your own lawn? Like your lawn?
Oh, my grass.
Yeah, your grass.
My lawn.
Your
let me
grass.
think about that. No, I don't.
No, I don't either. I get somebody to do it. Do you mow your own grass, Chuck?
I live in an apartment. I do
Okay,
not
that
have
doesn't count.
a yard to mow, but I have. I did. My dad tricked me into making me think it was cool when I was a kid. Then I realized it's not cool.
No.
It's work.
It's
but
work.
I do enjoy mowing the lawn.
I like plants a lot, and I'm really big into having nice plants and stuff like
Okay.
that. But I don't cut them. I just say, hey, I want this, I want that. Some of those.
All right, glass holes, make those comments on Facebook, and we'll see you back next week.